show because it's yeah, well, not interesting. But um, at the beginning, usually he and Gosma are going to be our casters. It's important that everyone can cast spells for those emergency fireballs if something goes wrong, or an emergency healing potion. As you can see, Wolf has a blast, so let's show you some magic. Um, Here we can choose who is going to cast the spells. The first level is the power of the spell. Since everyone can't really do magic anymore, we're going to use the lowest power. Then we can use the element. This is water, for example, fire. I think this is power. Well, every spell has a different symbol, and the symbol are named. I think that's V, a full, a so. I don't really know what the others are called at the moment. But well, let's cast a healing potion and a V potion. Look at it, consumable, weights 0.3 kilogram, and oh yes, we have a food and water level. If we idle around too long, our people will starve. But we are going to find a lot of food and fountains in the dungeon, so this won't be a problem. Um, if you play this game the first time, you may get a problem in the later levels because about level 7 there are no fountains anymore. So you either have to prepare accordingly, like filling your flasks with water, and we get some. Wait, let me show you. Open the door. There's an apple. But yeah, those water squints hold 3 gulps of water, and yeah, as you can see, already lost some food level. We're going to feed him. What I saw is some champions have a worse metabolism than others, because I tried a totally different party once, and those ate a hair from my head, as we say in German. They were eating like pigs. It was terrible to keep them fat, and since you really have a problem later in the game with food, it wasn't really nice. Anyways, let's get a torch. I'm going to put this in the backpack for now. Um, this is a altar of rebirth. If someone dies, we get a skeleton face here, and it's all whole items, and skeleton is dropped to the ground. You can pick up the skeleton and throw it into the altar, and he gets resurrected. But usually, if I don't really die anymore in this game, we can. Okay, no, not yet. We can open the door, get some more bread, cheese, yummy. What? Yes, if you walk against the wall, you take damage. Okay, there's a scroll. We can either put it into hand, work full for magic torch, or we can put it here, throw it away, and let's go downstairs into the first real level. Oh, well, from level 2 onwards, it's dark in the dungeon. As you can see, we can't see anything really. We can either cast a magic torch, increase the light. That's why casting is so important in the later levels. Or we put uh, torch in the hand, it gets illuminated. A club. And here's our first monster, a mummy. We can open the door and lure it out. Hello. We can use the door to our advantage. And it's gone. Well, pretty hard to talk, but we have a healing potion. Yay! So, yep. Small details can hide great rewards. Okay. Oh, sword. Let's do it like this. Using a sword and other huge weapons increases your your fighter levels. Using daggers and throwing weapons and crossbows, bows and stuff increases your ninja levels. And casting spells increases your according skill. Like a torch increases your uh, wizard level, and casting a healing potion increases your priest level. Oh, and fighting unarmed increases your ninja level too. So we are going to walk quite a bit while we are walking through the dungeon to increase our priest levels. The second level, well, first level really, is the tutorial level that shows you like how to use a door, how to use keys, fight a bit. It's really not that hard. There's a fountain. You can fill our water flask in it, or just water skin. That's a really good change they made in the second game. You can just click on the fountain and you drink out of it instead of having to use flasks and water skins manually. There's a switch to open the door, and there's a pit. We fall down, we take a lot of damage. We may break our feet, so we walk slower, which can be cured by a healing potion. If you can get hurt everywhere. Like if a monster throws a fireball at us, we usually have a hurt head and chest, which you can see then if we have a bandage around it and a bleeding wound. And if you don't cure this, we lose stamina, which is bad since we can't carry any heavy stuff down. So let's take some boots for a little bit of extra protection. Oops. And open open these doors. Another torch. I hope we won't need it soon anymore. And a key. A dagger. Plasma dagger, and Wolf gets the arrows. Like I said, I really love playing this game. It's a really nice dungeon crawler with some pretty evil riddles later on, like pressure plate riddles or time riddles even. There's a sword. We're just going to use it now. And a really big problem is overweight and you people will get overburdened with overweight. um, so they will walk slower later, which we have to endure. Nothing around this. And of course the food and drink stuff if you are not prepared for it, really. So let's see our second monster. Every level has about one or two new monsters. Sometimes you meet a mummy at the later levels. Well, let's punch him, this little screamer, and you drop some food. In the later level, I think it was level 4, there's some sort of, I used to call it a greenhouse, because you can force an respawn of those screamers. And well, which is pretty nifty because you can have a sort of unlimited resource of food, which we will use because it's, I guess it's not really a bug because